Yeah, man. Video got cut short, so this is part two, second half. But Brandon Jennings, yeah, came in third rookie of the year his rookie season in 2009 2010. Never averaged more than 20 points a game. The closest he came to 20 points a game was in 2011 2012, where he averaged 19. Brandon Jennings was never considered for any all NBA team, wasn't a good defensive player at all, wasn't an all star, and doesn't have any other accolades during his NBA career other than coming in third place for Rookie of the Year his first year in the NBA. Brandon Jennings played 9 seasons, only averaged 14. He averaged 14 points a game and 5 assists, which is decent. But sir, that's nothing to write home about. That's nothing to brag about, man. You were a decent NBA basketball player that made it to the league because I guess you were some fucking great high school basketball player. And that's all you really have to hang your hat on. And your claim to fame is your high school days. Because you can't brag about the NBA and you can't brag about that weak ass stint you had overseas that no one knows or cares about. So shut the fuck up, Brandon Jennings. And if you had never tore your Achilles, you wouldn't have been an all-star. Because you weren't even considered an all-star in your first few years in the NBA. You played one, two, three. You played 6 seasons averaging double figures. Your first 4 were with Milwaukee, and the last 2 were with Detroit. In those 6 seasons, you averaged double figures, but you were never considered an all-star or anything. Your peers and others that have come before and after you, they were all-stars by their second, third season. Some of them maybe their first if they're that good. And you brag and talk about, and Brandon Jennings brags and talks like he was so good that he could have been an NBA All-Star in his first few years in the NBA, like some of his peers and players, like I said, that have come before him and after him. Brandon Jennings wasn't shit in the NBA, and nobody gives a fuck about what he did in high school. At least I don't.
Your coach Pierce said you ain't five. Former head coach Steve Smith dropped his all-time starting 5 recently.
Rod Strickland, Jerry Stackhouse, Carmelo Anthony, Kevin Durant, Rajon Rondo, and probably the 6th man would be Naismith Award winner Ron Mercer.
So Rod Strickland, Melo, KD, Stackhouse, Rajon Rondo, Ron Mercer, 6th man. One name I did not hear mentioned in that list is Mr. B.
Maybe that's his favorite. Maybe that's what he liked.
Is it accurate though?
No, it's not accurate. That's not accurate for sure. But I mean, everybody has their favorites. But I started the mixtape era, like for.
Nah, you lame ass nigga. That was your coach from Oak Hill, who's coached a lot of great players over the years. And you weren't even in his top, whatever the fuck he was naming. You weren't even on that list. So, no, you were never the best player to come out of Oak Hill, especially the best guard. Shut your dumb ass up. Now you look stupid after you heard that man, your former coach at Oak Hill, that you love to brag about so much about how good you were at that fucking prep school where they put all the best players together in one school to compete against everybody else. The coach didn't even fucking name you, dude. The fuck out of here, Brandon Jennings. No, that's probably his favorite players. Nah, nigga. He's gonna be objective, man. Even if he didn't like you, I'm pretty sure he would be honest and say, nah, Brandon Jennings, yeah, he was one of the best players I coached. He helped us win such and such and such and such, and that helped my career and also his. You know, that type of thing. So your coach is going to be objective about you if you really helped him, you know what I'm saying, when you were playing for him. And you didn't. That's probably why he didn't name you, you sorry ass nigga.
I I was also a Naismith Player of the Year too. Actually, I got 5 awards, averaged 35, broke the scoring record in one season. You know, I'm an LA guy, so you know all those guys are East Coast guys. Then you can't do nothing with me.
Let's talk about it.
I don't care.
So let's bring it to the show. Gilbert Arenas in high school versus Brandon Jennings. Who is cooking who?
What? It's not even close. What? Gil's from the Valley.
I asked. Did you watch Brandon Jennings in high school and me? Could he stop me from scoring 30? I said, is he a top guard over me? He said, no homo. He's top tier for sure. But you were just different, like another level of different.
And then here we go again. Man, Brandon Jennings isn't stopping anybody from scoring. He's too fucking small. He's only 6'1", and he's skinny as fuck. No muscle, no anything. It ain't like he's like an Isaiah Thomas, and I'm talking about the recent Isaiah Thomas, the little nigga that can hoop for real, the one that's better than the old Isaiah Thomas. It ain't like he's like that little dude. Well, I ain't gonna call him a little dude, but it ain't like he's like Isaiah Thomas, who's, yes, he's small, but at the same time, he has muscle and knows how to use his body and is somewhat of a physical basketball player, leading teams on good and deep playoff runs like he did the Celtics the last year he played with the Celtics. Isaiah Thomas will serve Brandon Jennings. And I don't even think Brandon Jennings, well, you know, niggas don't care about playing defense. But no, you and I don't even fuck with Gilbert Arenas, but no, Brandon Jennings. Gilbert Arenas is 6'4" and he's way bigger than you. You wouldn't be able to fucking stop Gilbert Arenas from scoring, and you probably wouldn't be able to score on Gilbert Arenas, especially if Gilbert Arenas was defensive minded. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro.
Because of your ability to score at extreme high levels. You just scored way too many points. No one.
And that's another thing I wanted to add. It's like when we talk about how good basketball players are, it's only offensively. Like, motherfucker, who isn't good offensively? Like, come on, bro. Let's just keep it real. Like, there's different levels to it, yes. But, nigga, it's easy. I'm not going to say it's easy to score points, but you know what I'm saying, man. Offense is offense, man. That's going to take care of itself. Can you motherfuckers stop somebody from scoring? That's a part of being a great player, a part of being a good player. It's just not just what you can do offensively. And I hate that shit, man. That's how players are judged these days. Like, people thinking Nikola Jokic is some great fucking player because of his numbers offensively. If he was playing back when there were real centers and people and teams were playing real basketball, Nikola Jokic wouldn't be shit. And I'm not about to beat that point into the ground because I've already said that plenty of times on my channel, man. But yeah, man. Just because somebody is good offensively doesn't make them a great player.
In high school was stopping you. Not one person could stop you. You'll have 30 at halftime.
I was the #1 player in the country.
That's what's up.
So, like, who's stopping me?
Nobody. I didn't say, well, you said you was going to stop me. We played a zone.
That's fine. Feared, hostile. I was feared in high school. Made guys cry. Guys in the Valley, guys in Compton, all around here. This is easy. Y'all LA, easy.
You might
easy. High school, anybody ever came out of high school in LA, easy. You can't fuck with
Anybody?
Anybody can't fuck with
Baron Davis?
Anybody.
This ended bad.
Man, wasn't nobody fucking scared of Brandon Jennings, and you definitely didn't have motherfuckers crying. Shut the fuck up, man. And he's just so fixated and stuck on being the #1 player in high school back in the late 2000s. Bro, this is 2025, man. Nobody give a fuck about what you did in high school, nigga. What did you do in the NBA? Fuck high school. You know how many players are good in high school? Now, granted, they might not be NBA level talent or shit like that, but there's thousands of players leaving high school, going into college every year. And hundreds after that going from college to the NBA. And even more fighting to get to that, to get to the different levels. So who gives a fuck, bro? What did you do when it mattered the most once you got to the NBA and you were getting paid to play basketball? I'm pretty sure, yeah, you were probably getting paid a little something to play back when you were in high school if you were that good. But that's what I'm saying, bro. When you're in high school, motherfuckers peak in high school. People are great in high school, great in college, or just at any level. They're good at one level, and then when they go to the next level, or when it's time for them to go to the next level, they're not as good. And Brandon Jennings, you were one of those people, man. You were a great high school basketball player. You got to the NBA. You were a decent NBA player. Just like perfect example is Sebastian Telfair. You were just like Sebastian Telfair. And Sebastian Telfair was just a few years before you. That's it, bro.
For Brandon. We all know you said you was probably the best player that ever played Oak Hill.
I'm the greatest.
He didn't make the top five. He didn't make the top five in coach's mind. From the coach's mind. And so I don't. That's crazy. We can only trying to help him, Steve. We can only go off of what our peers say. Like Antonio Daniels said, I was the second best player he ever played with. He got Tim Duncan one. I'm two.
I mean, they can say whatever the fuck they want.
Right. Antoine Jameson said, out of all the people he played with, me and Kobe is the two hardest workers he's ever seen.
Who said that?
Antoine Jameson is the two
hardest. Who's that?
Antoine Jameson. It was Mike's teammate.
Kobe told him to go read a book.
No, because we got to let BJ know what our peers think of us. What the peers think not what we say about ourselves. I got there and I saw some of the best players I had ever seen in my life. In particular, there was a dude named Rashad McCants, a 6'4" guard out of prep school in New Hampshire. He was, and I have no doubt about this, one of the top 5 basketball players I've ever seen on any level. Wow. Period. Now, where did Coach say Brandon was?
And you see the difference in this? Man, that's crazy. I paused it right at 6:02 and the video's about to end. But so do you see the difference in what Rashad McCants is talking about and Gilbert Arenas in regards to Brandon Jennings? Brandon Jennings is bragging about high school. These are players, and I don't fuck with Gilbert Arenas. I like Rashad McCants. I did like his game when he played. But he was the same way once he got to the NBA. But they're talking about players that are in the NBA and NBA players talking about their game and what they did in the NBA. Now, I don't know if Rashad McCants, if he was talking about what some player was judging him from being in college, but still, college, NBA, not high school. Gilbert Arenas and Rashad McCants were getting those compliments from those other players. Those are professional players speaking on when they were in college or professional, in the professional ranks. Brandon Jennings is fixated and stuck on high school, man. But this was a cool little video. It was definitely interesting to see and definitely get caught up on, all this Brandon Jennings shit, because I didn't know the coach, Brandon Jennings' old coach, had had named his top 5 or top 10 players he's coached, and Brandon Jennings wasn't even on the fucking list. So that was just funny to see, man. And now, what was he saying? Man, that's just his opinion. That's because those are his favorite players. Nah, nigga, you just wasn't as good as you think you were, man. But yeah, man, Brandon Jennings, the most overrated player, the most overrated player that overrates himself. I don't even know how to say that in a cool, efficient way. But the most overrated player that overrates himself Brandon Jennings. And like you said, and like Gilbert Arenas, and then we're telling him, man, it's about what your peers say. It's not about what you self-proclaim, man. So Brandon Jennings needs to let this high school shit go and move on, man.